G'day guys, welcome back to the YouTube. So on this video I'm going to take us through the process of painting a Matt Clearcoat vehicle. So it's a Hyundai Tucson, it's nothing cool, alright, but I just figured these cars are becoming more and more common. We're starting to see more and more of them on the road, so I figured if there's young fellas in the trade that might come across this video that have never done one, they've got one coming up, they're a bit unsure how to do it, this video might help you out. So, or if you just like watching the process of painting, I know some guys like watching blokes paint, so I thought I would just film it. I'll take us through the process, through the steps that I do when I'm going to paint something like this, because obviously being a matte clear, there's not really much room for error. We can't get the job full of dust, we can't get it full of D-nibs, we can't get runs, anything like that, because we can't rub and polish it out, because obviously the finish has to stay matte. So I've basically filmed the process start to finish and done a voiceover, so you're not gonna have to listen to me, yak halfway through the video. So I've just done a voiceover through all the clips, talk you through it. So let's get stuck into it. Right, so we've got the job in the booth. This is it, Hyundai Tucson with the matte clear finish. So I'm going to get it plasticed up. So we're doing the front bar, new guard, and blending that front door. So that's just E-coat there on that guard. This bar, we've only got to paint this side. The other side's separated from grills, so we'll just do this little side here. And we don't need to worry about the other side. So let's get stuck into it. So where I like to start with any job, this job's not special being that it's matte clear. I do this on every job. Once it's all masked up, I like to take the air blower and just blow all the plastic around the whole job. Just if there's any dust or anything clinging to that plastic, I want to blow all that off. And I mean, especially because this is matte clear, I want to take every step and precaution to make sure that there's nothing that's going to blow off that plastic. So I'll just go around with it, spend a minute or so just blowing all that plastic off, and then I'll work my way onto the door, blow that off, and I'll even simulate spraying the door, what I'm doing here. Don't know if it helps, it's just what I do. I just simulate it, so if I was painting it, any shit that would come off that plastic or out of any gaps will come out when I'm doing this. So that's what I do. Alright, so working my way now to the guard, so I'll do the same thing here, same process, blow it all off, get anything off the panel that's sitting on there, and then I'll go through my little, simulation like I'm spraying the guard with the blower. An old tradesman taught me when I was an apprentice, and it's just always stuck with me, so I've just always done it, and it works for me. Don't know if it has any extra effect, but it's what I do. Then you see me work to the back of the guard here. I'll blow all the back of the guard off as well. And I'm even doing the stand as well. The stands sit outside the booth during the day when they're not in use. So any wind or stuff like that can carry things in, and it'll, land on the stand or stick to the stand because it's covered in overspray. So I'll just make sure I get all that off too. So here I go through my little trick here. I don't even know if it's a trick, but I like doing it. It works for me, so that's what I do. So yeah, I'll go and do the bar now. Alright, so I'll do the bar. Not really hard to do a corner of a bar, but I also like to double check any prep work and things like that. We've got preppers here, and I like to just double check things. Obviously, something goes wrong, you can't go blaming the prepper. Being the tradesman, you've got to double check work and make sure that it's up to standard. So I always like to double check all the prep work while I'm doing this as well. Check for rub throughs, check for any little chips that have been missed, or unsanded edges, things like that. And once I'm happy with it, I'll move on to the next step. So another little thing that I also like to do on every job, but I'll give this one special attention, is that's plastic cleaner there. So it's like an anti-static wipe, or anti-static prep sole, so you sort of understand what it is. I'll spray that on some rags, and I'll go along the plastic just to further clean the areas around where I'm going to blend or paint. Doesn't really matter, but being this is a matte clear, As I said, I don't want to get any D-nibs in it or anything blowing off that plastic when I'm spraying. So you see me here just going right around basically where I think the air pressure is going to hit the plastic, and I'll just wipe it all down to get anything off. If there is anything stuck on there, even though I've blown it off, sometimes dirt can still stick to that coating that's on the plastic, so I like to go over it with the plastic cleaner and just clean all that up, make sure there's nothing hidden on there, and stretch that plastic out a little bit as well. So then I'll also grab the airline, give that a wipe down, just so there's nothing that's going to come loose off that airline and land on the job as well. So I'll give you a quick little look here how much dirt I get off this air hose, because it just gets thrown on the ground. So I'll do that. So another little thing I like to do is cover my blend panels with a sheet of plastic before I wet and wet. A lot of the times your wet and wet panel's close to a blend door or something like that, and the overspray will travel and land on that door. You can gun wash it off, but it's a pain in the ass when you can just put a sheet of plastic over it and you just prevent the whole step. So that's what I do. I always do it on blend panels, keep them covered up before I start wet on wetting anything. So we're about to wet on wet, so I'll do my last little clean down with a tack rag. So I'll just go over the entire job again, just paying a bit more attention to this because of the matte finish clear that I keep banging on about, but it's got to be done. Like, you do this on every job anyway, but I've obviously spent a little bit extra time on this and taken a bit more care and precaution to eliminate as much dust as possible to ensure that the job is going to be as clean as it can be once I paint it. So now we can go ahead and start putting our wet and wet primer on. So we use PPG Envirobase here at my workplace. So this is the G6 shade. So I'm just going to put a nice even wet coat on this guard. Make sure you get all your edges. Get that all covered up. And then we can let this sit and flash off, and we can mix up some colour, which I'll show you what the colour is when I'm up to it. So now making my way to the bar, I'll put a coat over that. Now I've done the whole bar end. I wasn't going to just put a little bit over the repair. I'll just do the whole bar end, makes it easier. Then if they have missed anything or there's scratches, they'll get filled up. So now I'm going to go back to the guard and do the back of the guard. So the factory E-coat on the guard, it's very light, and the old guard isn't like that. So I'll put a coat of G6 on the back of it, which darkens it, makes it look more factory like this. This is why I do it. So and then I'll end up dusting a bit of base coat over it as well, just to further make it look original. If it ever gets pulled apart, it looks like it's never been touched. So that's why I do that. So now that the wet and wet's on, I can now take my plastic off the blend door. All the overspray is settled, so that can come off before base. So now we can move into base. So PPG Envirobase, the way I spray it is I literally just do 3 medium wet coats. A colour like this that, it covers pretty well, so you don't need to stress too much. So 3 medium wet coats and a technique coat if you need it, or a control coat, however you know it. Spray gun settings, 1.5 bar air pressure, 2 turns out of the fluid. So wind your fluid right in, wind it out 2 full turns, and the fan's wide open, full throttle. So that's how I set my gun up when I spray base, and basically the same when I spray solvent, but obviously the air pressure's different. So I'll go ahead and I'll just keep basing everything up. So I didn't film the third coat, so what I'm doing is just making sure that there's no rub-throughs on the back edge of that door. So the third coat is now on, right before clear. So I just go around and double check everything. Just a little thing with blending. So I normally use curves of panels like this to keep the blend in there. Can just take the eyes off it. So if your colour's not 100% and you've got, you know, a panel with a bit of a fold in it like that, you can actually use that to hide your blend as well. You know, I try and teach all the young fellas that, you know, use everything to your advantage. If your colour's not perfect, but this colour was pretty good. I actually tinted it. It was a bit dark and needed to go a little bit greener, so I did tint the colour and matched it and sprayed it out and all that. So there's a look at the back of the guard. So yeah, now we're ready to mix up clear, so I'll show you that. So the clear I'm using for the job, PPG Deltron D8115, just straight out of the tin. I've sprayed it out and the sheen matched, so we're good to rock and roll. So I'll mix up the clear now. Little trick there with the tin, if you don't have a pourer, 3 or 4 strips of masking tape and it'll pour out of there a treat. So a little tip there for you, and I like to use 2 or 3 strainers when I'm doing matte clear as well. Alright, so a little purge there, and then we're going to go ahead and clear the job out using the matte clear. So I found the trick with the matte clear is you've got to put it on wet, both coats. If you don't, it can look a little patchy. And I've just found if you just put 2 really nice wet coats on, it will generally look how it's supposed to look, and you won't really get that patchiness. And depending on the weather, I mean, you don't really want to use a fast hardener in matte clear. I probably wouldn't go anything more than like a medium or a normal hardener. It'll just help it lay out nice and you know, avoid any patchiness or streakiness or anything like that. So that's my recommendations anyway. So it's up to you what you do if you're going to tackle one. So that's enough talk, and I'll clear this job out and get it done. Alright, so that is the job done. So this is obviously straight after spraying it, that's why it's still shiny, but I'll let it sit for 10 minutes before I bake it, and then it'll get its matte sheen. Come up pretty good. Pretty happy with it, to be honest. There's basically nothing in it. There's basically no dust in it, so don't know how I pulled that out, but yeah, it came out cracker. Came out absolutely killer, so yeah, I'll let it sit for 10 minutes, and then we'll bake it, and the job can be fitted up. So I'll let it sit for 10, and it basically looks like this. So it's not even baked here, but it just naturally, as it flashes off, loses the shine and starts to look how it's supposed to look. So that's the job finished. Pretty happy with it. Come up really good. All right, so that's the Tucson all finished up and painted. So I did a video on painting a Mazda Soul Red about a year ago on my channel. And I said in that video, if anything come through the shop that was somewhat interesting or just a different colour or a different technique, that I'd film it. So that's why I done this one. I did have a couple of comments on there from other painters that had never done it before. They having dramas or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. We're all in it together. I've been in the trade for over 20 years, so if I can help young fellas or help anyone, like I even learn things, now off young blokes. You've got to just keep evolving with the trade. Doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it, you never know everything. And there is a lot of guys in the trade that are hard-headed like that. They think they know everything. You've just got to continue to improve and continue to learn, and you never know who you're going to learn things off. I still see things now that I think, that's a good idea, or that's a good trick, or that's a good way of doing it. Just because, I've never done it that way or never seen it that way. So always got to keep an open mind, and it's like that saying, you can teach an old dog new tricks, isn't it? So, but anyway, I thought I'd do this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a comment. I enjoy reading things and replying back and things like that. I try to reply to everyone. I'm only a small channel, so I've got fuck all else better to do, don't I? But anyway, quickly before we go, I have been working on the VN. I've got things going on, so there should be a video coming maybe in a week or so. I've been fighting with this thing in the interior again, but you'll have to wait for that video to see it. So anyway, enough rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.